All right, well, Josh, we'll put you on the hot plate. So the next topic I have here is I'm just so I'm just so confused, and Jake, I'm curious for your thoughts too. Like, I listened to God Does Like Ugly by Jed, and it's not like the greatest of all time. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the Forever Story, the album in 2022, I would maybe play that one over this one.
Hmm.
But like, all I can get Josh to say is that he legit sounds like a girl. Like, that's the only thing you have to say. I'm just confused. Like, is that good? Is that bad? Like, and not is that comment in particular good or bad, but like, do you even just not even like the album was amazing. Every time I play Glory, it just I kick into another gear, and I'm just like, what are your actual fleshed out thoughts on this project? Or maybe you don't have any.
Um, yeah, I mean, after a few listen throughs and just like thinking about it more, diving deep into the lyrics, and just analyzing like on a deeper level, I just really think Jid sounds like a girl who smokes a few too many packs of cigarettes, like I don't know what
That's
else
like
to
the only comment. Did you even listen to the whole album?
uh,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh
and
my
then I
gosh.
asked my roommate. Well, I played my roommate a Jid song,
Yes.
and I was like, "Do you think this is a boy or a girl rapping?" And my roommate said, "That's a girl, right?"
That's crazy to me.
No, that's a
Yeah, that's
boy.
really odd. That's really odd.
Like, I get
Not
the
odd.
joke, but like, come on, that's a man. You can tell it's a grown man. I don't know.
But it's the whole his rapping style like jittery. Like that's what his grandmother called him as a nickname. So that's why his name is Jid. And it's just I don't know. It's so cool to me, but if it doesn't land for you, then so be it. Jacob, what are your thoughts on his project or just
So be you.
him Jid overall?
I mean, I've always liked him. I've always been a fan. The Forever Story I thought was really good, and I
Yeah.
listened to that, you know, up till this year. Here and there. Radar is the one I go back to the most, I think, because it's just
Yes.
so entertaining. But
Yes.
God Does Like Ugly. I really haven't listened to it that much. Glory is the song I've listened to the most. I love
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I haven't listened to it too much.
Okay.
I think the Clips song is a little overrated. I at least know that much.
The
Um,
Community.
yeah, but like I
No.
don't feel like the album as a whole is like crazy overrated or anything. I'm not like in that camp,
Okay.
but like it's not album of the year, Christian or not for me. Either way.
Okay.
Um, Drake's probably gonna blow him out the water here soon. So
So what do you think about Iceman episode 3 then?
didn't
Because all
watch
the
it.
Drake stands are turning their
I know.
backs
I'm
like
aware, but
crazy.
I've not like peeped any of this.
Okay,
What did
well,
I miss? I like a lot, but anything else, not
okay,
listened to. Even the Central C song, haven't heard it.
that's really interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, I not sure if I've really like I've heard people avoiding leaks if they see leaks, but full on like singles, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone like wait to listen to a full album. So I respect that, and
I
I'm
do that a
curious
lot.
to.
That's
I
a
don't
that's a
even know if
bad
he's dropping
habit.
an album. No, I think it's a good habit because
I
it
thought
makes
I
it
heard
interesting.
the
It's like
date being thrown around October 31st for Iceman. I thought that was a thing.
oh, because like October. That's funny.
Yeah, and
I
it's
mean,
Halloween, but it's also last day. I don't know. Let me check the.
yeah.
I don't. I googled Iceman and the superhero comes up.
Oh, that's funny. I heard
Weird.
he was pushing it back or something was getting delayed or canceled.
Genius still says expected to release October 31st.
Okay, so it's probably just drama.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's pushed back.
Yeah.
Because for all the dogs, I was that delayed, or was
That
it
was
just
2023.
yeah? Was that delayed, or did that just not come out at midnight? I remember it was something like that. CLB didn't come out at midnight. I remember that being
I was not really okay. I was not really into Drake.
yeah.
Whoa, Josh is
Josh, we
gone.
just lost your camera if you can hear us.
And he's muted.
He's
All right,
been
well,
muted for a little
anyway, he
while.
probably
Anyways,
won't have anything insightful or productive to say. So let's talk about the Clips album. So you had waited to listen to all of this, as well. Because the first time I heard the "So Be It" beat by Pharrell, I just thought he was onto something special, and it turns out I would agree with that statement for the rest of the album as well. But your response in the chat was I can't do any more real rap or something like that. I'm just curious.
Is that what I said?
Or I'm like, and I don't know. That's another unique perspective I just wasn't expecting to see. So what are your thoughts on the Clips album and what they're up to as of late?
I mean, I think I said this, but um, the context in which I listened to it, I only listened through
Yeah.
it once, and I was half listening to it. My
Oh,
expectation was my ear would be caught at some point, and it didn't really happen. Not because I'm saying like it's bad.
yeah.
I feel like rap's getting boring a little bit. I don't know. Not that it's gone bad. I'm just like there just seems to be a lot with not much character to it, and I don't know. The Clips album, although it seems like good rapping to me. Like I'm not saying that it doesn't, you know, it doesn't hit the
Okay.
bar, but like for me, the most exciting thing in the past year to happen in the rap game is the kind of East Coast West Coast thing that was going on for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's at least in like some of the songs that came out through that, and even Joey's album recently, I would probably take that album over Clips and JID. Jitty.
Really.
Yeah,
The
because
album,
to me, like it
Joey's
has some
album was
character to
not
it.
bad. It
Yeah.
was just
What's it called
not
again? I
as
don't even know.
see, that's a problem. If it's your favorite album and you don't even remember the name.
Well, but here's the thing. That
It's
just tells you
it's
what kind of
called
stuff
It's
I'm on
Lonely at
lately.
the Top.
Lonely at the
It's called
top.
It's
That's
Lonely
right.
at the
Yep.
Top,
Yep.
which is unfortunate because I think it's a fine album, but it is not what I would consider to be top even of this year. It's good, but ever since like Dochi's Alligator Bites, I just feel like hip hop has been taking a turn, and maybe that's good for me in my taste, but not as much your preference. But the Clips album, I will say, has been growing on me with each listen. So that I don't know, and the fact that you've only listened to it once, that's just interesting to me. But obviously, we all have our different thoughts. What else has come out lately?
Um.
It's
Chance.
Oh, we gotta talk about Chance. Yeah, we do. Okay, that's
All
better.
right, let's
That's
do
better
it.
than Joey. Uh,
Yes. Okay. Thank
Josh, you
you. I
get
can
the
agree with
Josh,
you
get the
on
first
that.
word on this. You go for it.
Oh yeah.
um so I currently reside in Chicago, and I was
Right.
texted by Jacob and Luke, and they told me go and listen to this album. You live in Chicago. And so I took an evening, an afternoon and an evening, and I drove to a park. I set up my hammock. I put on my
Wow.
headphones. I stared at Lake Michigan, the city skyline, and I listened to the album. And yeah, I was elevated. It was a great album, great music.
Okay.
Um, yeah, favorite tracks. I mean, Back in the Go is good. The one with Joey on it's good. Highs and Lows. Space and Time is phenomenal.
Oh,
Pretty is really good. I love those tracks. I'm still listening to the album. I got it on a playlist, and it's in there. And listening to Ride in Chicago traffic is a good
Yes.
experience too. And yeah, man, Letters. Yeah, I'm still trying to go to the Emerald Avenue Church of God.
Mm,
It's on the list of places to visit now.
field
that's
research.
dope.
Um,
That's great. Only on our
Alstad
podcast.
Street. Alstad Street. I've been on, so that's cool. Chance mentions
Yeah.
that.
So
It's a
you're
great,
you're
great
experiencing
experience.
this album fourth dimensionally,
Oh
or
yeah.
that's awesome. So I have to insert real quick with Ride, just like a good vibey song. I do want to shout out Skate off Jid's album. Like if I don't know, just come back to that one. I guess y'all might have a bad taste with Sierra since her Holvey
No.
collab. But
I don't care.
I just think that song is a vibe. Skate. Come back to it. At least give it another shot if anything else. But anyway, more on Chance. And when is he performing, Josh? Has he dropped a tour date?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see him probably.
Yeah, I know he struggled with tours, but he'll definitely do Chicago, even if he cancels. Like that's pretty foolproof, I would think.
Yeah.
So Jacob, you left us a voice memo right at the that morning. I was probably hiking, which is the only reason I was up at that hour, which is like 4 a.m. my time. But you're just I don't know, the one word, I mean, you said a lot of things. One word I remember was emotion, and I just want you to
Mm,
share, like, what are some of those things that hit you hard from that album? Because there's really so much with the context of just Chance's story, like the
right.
fallout, his F minus album as he calls it. And he's the happy wife, happy life guy, and then is now divorced. Like, tell us just what you were feeling from this album.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really all has to do with the context in which it came out and all that everyone kind of knew was going on. Because there's kind of this crazy irony with people clowning the big day because of all the wife talk, which I was never really onto all that criticism. But then the divorce thing happens. It's weird. It's like oddly public, which is strange because of like the
Right.
videos of him and things his wife saying, whatever.
Really, I
So
didn't even follow it to that detail.
yeah, we do not have to talk about that. But
No,
um,
I don't want to.
yeah, I kind of yeah, it's kind of like an underdog situation in all the best ways. You know, he's literally like gotten everything taken from him. I expected Buried Alive, the single, to be on the album and to likely be the
Right.
intro to the album. That was kind of what I was expecting. Though there
Hmm.
were a lot of songs that I expected to be on the album that weren't. And one of the songs that I saw as least likely because of how old it was to be on the album which was The Highs and Lows. Um,
Yes.
but I think, yeah, it's certainly an underdog album, and to see Chance so mature and thoughtful, self-aware, all those things, but also kind of willing to address some of that wife stuff, but also just kind of bigger picture things in the way that the Big Day 2019 Chance probably could not have done. I just appreciated like the whole work, and I'm a big album guy, and so a project like that is very cohesive. Um,
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was a really good album. And as far as emotion goes, the height of that on the album probably came at Space and Time for me. I think I might have
Yes.
cried when I listened to that the first time. Um,
That one
it's beautiful, man.
hits. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love it. His ad libs just never get old. I could listen to those all day. Oh man. And no, I heard this one perspective which I thought was interesting. With Chance being Kanye's best prodigy, he ain't found anybody proud of me. I think Chance felt this super big pressure just to have a producer type like skill set. And I think with Big Day, he was trying to just rap in all these artists and do all these crazy things and merges or whatever. And that's just not his route. And I think that's maybe this is not my perspective when I heard it that I do agree with. It's just why it kind of fell through that not his lane. Um so anyway, and I think saw that come through okay?
The last part didn't quite.
Oh shoot, okay. Um, Basically just excited to see where he goes moving
Yeah,
forward.
yeah,
So with that, there's one more album I definitely want to talk about today, and then I'll talk about what I think would be fun to like. I have topics, but it would be we have to think about. So before we talk about that, let's talk about Reconstruction a little bit.
here we go.
Since that he is the namesake of our group in a sense because it all started back when we drove. How long was it? 6 hours to North Carolina during a
Yeah.
spring break for me, and just the timing is crazy. So I don't know about y'all. Did y'all think he was like done after Church Close 4 or still had it in him? Because he's had all these talks about, oh, I just want to support the up and coming artist, yada yada. Where did y'all think? Like, did y'all expect this album even to happen?
Josh?
Yeah, whenever artists say that they're done, they're taking a break or whatever, that doesn't mean anything, you know. I'm not surprised one bit.
Okay.
Yeah, like I know he said he was done with church clothes at that point, which I would love to see a
Right.
fifth one at some point. Like, I don't want to rule that out. You know,
Yeah. Same.
that would be cool.
Same.
Um, I would say I didn't expect an album as soon, but then also like, not counting Church Clothes as what he would call a mixtape. And this would be his 10th studio album, is what he's saying. Last one being Restoration. I mean, that was 5 years ago. So it has been a long time since that album came out. Though he's done a lot of stuff since, like he did the Miles Minnick project.
That's good.
There were a lot of singles, a lot of features. Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff in the larger effort at Reach, But yeah, I mean, Church Clothes 4 was what, the end of 2023, so it's not even been
Yeah.
2 years since that came out.
True.
But it's felt like enough time. I don't know, but I mean, he'd been saying that
I agree.
I think the reception of Church Clothes 4 and kind of that process for him, it seemed to kind of give him a second wind, because I think that Reconstruction idea came right off the heels of
Yes.
Church Clothes 4. So like I think that's been in
Especially with
process
the
since then.
deconstruction, especially with deconstruction song is one of the like last ones.
Right.
Like it has to have been.
Yeah, so like it's been on my radar for a while, because I even remember the tweet that he made, kind of first teasing that Reconstruction title. That was like immediately after Church Clothes 4. So at this
Yeah,
point,
well,
I would like
Really.
expect for him not to come back with anything else too soon.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of Miles Minnick, so I'm a Dissect podcast listener. I can see like y'all's we'll say grievances with him, but I think like as John Keith is to me, Miles Minnick is to both of you. Like I just don't think it's that bad. And as a matter of fact, on the Dissect podcast, one guy that Cole Kushner had on it, he gave a shout out to Lecrae's album, and he also gave a shout out to Miles Minnick's album, which I know both of y'all have not listened to. But for what it is, like it's Miles Minnick. Yeah, it sounds like him, like no doubt. But it was a vibe. I enjoyed it. Like it wasn't bad. So I'll just say that we don't even have to talk about him anymore because you
Well,
guys
no,
probably don't
I'd be
want to.
content.
But
I'll tell you, I want to give him his flowers. I've been like, even on my reaction channel, I did, what was the album, Holographic. I reacted to that, and that was like the first
okay,
time that I was actually like hard on an artist that I made a video on. But I'll
yeah,
say like the project with Lecrae and West Indies with John Keith, bringing those two together. I actually like that project a lot for both of their contributions.
really.
Yeah.
I thought you hated them.
No, no, no.
Okay,
He's grown on. I think he's gotten better. I do think that, and I'm
yes,
not a fan of his style. Like I just don't like this stereotypical West Coast sounding stuff. Like I don't
yeah.
think I ever will. But um, I do think he's gotten. I think he's really gotten good at what he does now, which is enough to at least tolerate and appreciate to some degree for me. And I really like the project with Lecrae more so even than West Indies. The Method I think is an awesome song.
Wow,
I love that
more
song
than
a
West
lot.
Indies.
Heaven Sent, I love
Okay,
that song too. I actually
which
like
one?
when Lecrae tries to do his West Coast stuff. I actually tend to kind of like it. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Wow, because I remember you doing the live reaction, and when Pot Licking came up, you're like, not another West Coast one, and then it was total opposite. Which song did you say you had liked? That one I just didn't hear.
On which
Get Well
project?
Soon, I think.
On Get Well
Get Well
Soon.
Soon, maybe.
Heaven Sent and The Method were my two favorites on that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
great. Okay, I see Josh's face. He's about to just turn the talk. So what do you got to say there?
Well, yeah, it's the audio cut out for me for a second.
Yeah.
So if I'm, repeating anything, let me know. But you mentioned how I oh man, you just compared Miles Minnick and John Keith, and you said that
I
as
know. So
Miles
let
Minnick,
me clarify. I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying the way I feel about John Keith, like I think he's fine. He just annoys me sometimes, is the way y'all think about Miles Minnick. And we just both don't quite understand each other. Like Eremos, I love that project. I think it's actually might be S tier like of the CHH albums. But still that doesn't
it's
anyway, Josh, I'll
My
just let you
man.
talk.
anyway. I just think that to say, like, I get, it's subjective for you, but objectively, Miles Minnick Hold on, let me start with this. John Keith raps, produces, sings,
No, I'm not trying to compare them. Don't. That's not the point of this. I'm
does
just
so
trying to
many
like
different
help y'all
things.
understand like the
Miles,
relate. Keep going.
Miles,
Sorry.
It's Bryson.
Miles is a one-trick pony who just does West Coast, raps. He just does the same thing. I'm not saying it's a bad trick. All I'm saying is he just doesn't do anything but that,
Okay.
and that's why I'm annoyed by it. Just want to see more versatility.
All right. Let me give you this. What's the John Keith album where it's like the stone Medusa face or whatever? Y'all know what I mean?
Lucas,
I would say at that point, like that's about the same amount of time we've been exposed to Miles Minnick as John Keith we had been at that
That's
point.
true. That's true.
I would say John Keith was 100% a one-trick pony. Every single one of those songs had that little like one octave higher like background voicing. It was so annoying. Now, thank
Yeah.
goodness he started singing. His R&B album this year, crazy, so good. I'm still like loving that one more and more with each
he
listen.
was singing. He was singing then too.
But it wasn't good. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
it was not.
yeah, John Keith, like it took him a while to hit his stride, I think, since he was kind of in doing his thing.
Yeah.
Like not till what's the Village album called after Antihero? What's it called?
Summertime in the Village.
Summertime, yeah.
I don't even
That
know about
is
that
when
one.
he hit his
Wow.
stride, I think. Like it took him that long, but now he's, I think, the best in the game. Uh, and yeah,
And
Miles
Lecrae's
really hasn't been
favorite.
doing this thing too long. What'd you say?
And Lecrae's favorite, according to that one random, like
Oh
his top
yeah,
five.
yeah. I
So
mean,
Lecrae said his top five albums are, or I'm sorry, artists are Jackie Hill Perry, John Keith. Shoot, I might not even remember them. DC3,
yeah, he
and
said
then there are
that.
two like kind of obscure ones I actually don't even remember. Anyway, sorry, not just since I like Lecrae so much, I feel like that gives that some validity. But all right, what's this album? Summertime. I'll give that one another
Summertime in the
listen.
Village. That was, yeah. So after Antihero, which was his 2020 or
Yes,
2019 album, he did
yes.
this smaller, shorter album that was just kind of a new sound that I think he kind of
Okay,
committed to then at that point, and that's kind of his sound now. Yeah.
I'll come back to that one. I'm excited. Oh, he has some of the Indie Tribe songs on there.
That's,
Okay,
Everybody
cool.
Else. Do you know that song?
Yeah, I don't have a good. I haven't heard that one for a while. I don't have like a good. I don't know. When I think of it, it's not a good association, but maybe my opinion will change.
That's one of my
So I'll
favorite songs
definitely
of
give that
his.
one. I'll
Yeah,
give that one a
and
That's
listen.
his best
24K was
song.
on that project too, as well
Yeah,
as
yeah, I
Upper
know that
Hand.
one pretty well.
But I think
Okay.
most of the songs too that were written for that project were written during those sessions with Indie Tribe, because
Yeah.
in that documentary that came out for Upper Hand,
Yeah.
he was writing a
What's
couple of the
what's the
songs.
move? Definitely was.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So we're talking about the Reconstruction. Went into Miles Minnick and John Keith.
Yeah, we didn't talk
Any,
about.
any other comment? Any other comments on those two before we go back to Reconstruction? Because I have a decent amount of thoughts on and some interesting trivia as well.
Last comment is John Keith is the GOAT. All right, let's move on.
Um,
Let's just state that
yeah.
clearly.
Okay.
Seconded.
That's actually gonna be what I want to talk about in our next one. Just when
Okay,
we
all
need
right.
more time to like prepare and have notes and stuff. But that's absolutely what I want to talk about. So
All right.
good. So Reconstruction. So I still working through them. He did this workshop stuff, and there's all these cool background videos. Not even on with Reconstruction, but for his past albums. And get this. Did y'all notice on Spotify his old album covers changed color? Did
Yeah.
y'all notice
Yep.
that?
Right. Yep. To the
So
green.
do you know? Here's like first trivia question. Do you know like what the theme was? Because some of them did have a color.
Wasn't it just all the greens were the only colors that were left?
Yes, however, which one was it? Real talk, or I'll probably give it away if I keep talking too much.
I can
Some of the
pull it up.
albums they put a shade of green in that the green was not
Oh,
actually
really?
in the original. Yes,
Mm.
Oh, they
I feel
switched
like I'll
now.
give
They're
it
already
away.
switched back. I can't look at them.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways,
any guesses on what the connection was? Because there is a theme.
His
I
clothes or something.
No. So every album that has the re prefix in it what had they put a shade of green. Some of them had a shade of green already, but
Ooh,
like
like
ones
the
like Rebel.
restoration, rehab overdose, real talk,
So it was Real Talk, Rebel,
rebel. Yeah,
Rehab, Restoration. I think those were the
I
four.
just realized how many albums he has with that.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah,
So
no,
it was one of his like
real
assistants or
talk,
whatever. They're like, Craig,
rehab.
yeah.
That's 5 of them.
They're
Yeah,
like, Craig, what if we like change all the ones with the re prefix to a shade of green? And this is like while he's doing like photo shoots for the album. He's like, oh, that sounds great. Go ahead. So I noticed they changed color, but I just didn't notice the theme, and I don't know like how many people would have caught that. I wouldn't have if I didn't really know.
yeah.
So next trivia, and I might have to do officially more research on this, but Reconstruction, and this will go into a deeper thought. He gives a lot of shout outs to his past projects, and I actually forget which one is in the lead. There's top. No, I'm pretty certain of this. So there's one particular app project that comes up, I think, 3 times that Lecrae himself references, like all across the albums
Is it
or the
gravity?
songs of the album. No.
Ah, so like you're counting total references to other projects.
So I counted, yes, there is one to Gravity. And I'll go through song by song with the ones I remember. But there's one, which album wins his like past references in the Reconstruction?
I feel like he
Josh, do you have a guess?
references Rebel a lot generally, but is it
That's the
Rebel or
number
real?
two.
Okay, is it real talk?
No, and I actually didn't have a single Real Talk reference that I caught. Josh, do you have a guess? It's actually his
I
Instagram bio for a while. I don't know if it still is. Like he just has it in there.
can tell you.
It is Anomaly. He references
Wow.
like he just says the word anomaly 3 times, all right?
Yeah.
I
And he
I
says it
might
on
have to
Deconstruction too. He talks about Anomaly's
that's
release. Like I
right.
remember that. Yeah.
And there was the Bodega album.
We're on
It is
Journey.
like a
Sorry.
lyrical miracle song. You listen to that one. So it's him and Jay Monty.
Yeah. Fall of
That song
Rome.
is so cool. And he's like, hold on, let me just read this for y'all. It's called The Fall of Rome,
Yeah.
but the fall is like FVLL.
Yeah.
I will just read this. So he's actually like um interpolating like a oh, who are these guys? Dang it. What's the one? What? No. Chambers of Death? No. It'll come to me later. There's this one rap group that he likes. So he says, "Hey yo, I bomb atomically. Religious ideologies and hypotheses can't define how I be dropping these strong arm robberies. No apologies. I take your beat and stomp it properly, like God's property." And then he says, "The anomaly." But the first time I heard that, I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" But turns out, if I click on it, oh, Wu Tang. So he's kind of like interpolating a Wu Tang bar in that verse. But I just thought that was like a great line, and I did not see Lecrae like that lyrical in a hot minute. But I feel like he's
Yeah.
kind of returned into that form with this album.
Yeah. I think he's kind of yeah. He's hit his second win in a lot of ways.
Yes,
In kind of there, he has a new sound that like is completely new in the last 3 or 4 years. I think, but also like part of that I think
yes,
has been I never thought he was the most lyrical guy to begin with, but yeah, like
I
that's one
agree.
verse where internal rhyme scheme is just it is S tier. Like H2O is another one that I really appreciate for that reason.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Um. Okay, I don't want to like spoil it all, so I'm gonna go back through the album and like actually like get every single reference that I catch down. But let me give y'all like two little snapshots of that. All right. And some of them are more conceptual, some are like actual like a word for word drop. So the first song, and I want y'all to think of another Lecrae album that opens up with like a crazy guitar solo, or I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I'm
I
not
know exactly
giving.
what you're talking about.
Okay, so what do you? I didn't realize this until recently, but Jacob, what do you
Well, are you
have to
thinking
say?
about the drop intro to Gravity kind of feeling similar?
Yes,
Yeah.
it like one time I listened, I'm like, oh, this is kind of like Gravity.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm glad you caught that. Yeah, but let me compile all those. Maybe I'll find more, and that'll be a nice little trivia for our next episode there. Um, so yeah, this album, I just it's just special. I even after having re-listened a lot, like it just It's a special album, and I don't know. I don't think there's really any skips. I do other than Brick for Brick. You guys are right. Like, it's definitely not. It's definitely probably like one of the lower points of the album. And Mizo, yeah, I wish he like put the spotlight on her more and just had her do a little bit more. But who knows how it's gonna go live? That could be different. But I do want to talk about Mad at Today. Both of y'all did not like that one,
Well,
I like
but
the cool part.
there's a part in there that yeah, it's pretty nice, but like
the interlude.
it's kind of a harsh transition, you know. Like yeah, I don't know. It's just a
Okay, that's
weird song
fair.
to me. It's a weird song that I could kind of do without on the album, especially. Like I wouldn't get mad
Okay,
if it was a throwaway single. Like I wouldn't. But I don't know.
interesting.
Like what if Lift Me Up was on here instead? That's all I can't stop thinking about that. That's a banger, and
I don't know
it's
where
not
I'd
on
put
here.
that single. It is a banger. I just don't know where I'd put it on this album.
Yeah, lift me up after too much would be great.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Maybe.
Let me throw this at y'all. I don't know if I'll say it's the biggest, strongest pivot point, but this is a major pivot point because let's just think of just like with Chance, the context with Chance is what made his album so significant. Let's talk about with Lecrae, and I'm putting this song hand in hand with "Pray for Me," which is
Mm.
I guess okay. That's we have "Pray for Me" Too Much, which I love. A Klesso. Okay, let me go on a little soapbox with Lecrae. His best gift, and this is on his Deep End podcast. This is with music. His best, like I've never seen anyone do this better, is him having a feature and just somehow like propping up the feature and it's like the opposite of what Drake does. Drake just tries to copy it and like makes it worse when he does himself. Lecrae like taps into something and he brings the best out of people. Like just think of every feature like that he's ever done. I just maybe that's too much, but I'm thinking of like the Aha Gazelle feature. Like he
Mm-hmm.
brought something out of Aha Gazelle. Tori
Made one
Kelly, like Tori Kelly's
great.
already so good, but when they came together for I'll Find You, that was something special. And like, let's just go through this album. Even like, I could go through past albums like crazy, but just even this one, like his collab with John Bellion. I think I'll give a lot of credit to John Bellion. John Bellion has a good
Yeah.
mind for that stuff, you know. But like Aklesso, I didn't really like Aklesso or his style that crazy, but I vibe with this song like crazy. Politicking with Propaganda, who just dropped a decent album. You also listen to it, it's crazy. Like that was great. Erase Me with like every feature on this album. There's not a single other than Brick for Brick with Mizo. Something went wrong there,
And I
but
would
like
say more than any of them on this album, probably the Tory feature. I mean, that song is
yes,
special, but also like that's a
yeah,
very Tory Deshaun song, I think. And
yes,
Lecrae's contribution though is just as great, and the hook is just fabulous, man.
totally, totally. And then we got Tell No Lie. Like say what you want about Mizo, but Jackie, she might just out rap Lecrae on that her verse there. So and then you got Headphones. Like again, it's just like it's kind of like you don't really appreciate it because he just does it so easily, but like bringing in Killer Mike and Ti and just making such a great record. That's the crazy gift. And then on his podcast, he is the best interviewer I think I've ever heard as well. So just so good. Like he's able to one episode talk with Will Smith, Beethoven, then like a pastor. Like I just don't know how he crosses all these different worlds and genres, but I have to give that shout out.
Yeah, that's really
So
true.
do y'all agree? Okay.
Yeah, he's great at that. He really excels in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hammer Time, What You
Right.
Mean. It's definitely
Even
helped
back with
Ovi and
Jesus
Wande a
music with
lot.
Trip Lee. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm cutting you off. You keep going.
Andy Mineo. Yeah, like you hear Lecrae's music, you hear Andy Mineo's music, you think they would like not really go together that well, but each time they do, it's like mostly pretty good, you know. He's
Yes.
got that gift. It's all things to all people, you know, in hip hop.
Right. Yeah. It's literally like the gospel. It's just crazy. So that's anyway. Josh, is your cut off here in 4 minutes? Is that like strict?
Yeah, I gotta go now actually.
Okay. So here's you go, but here's what I need you to think about for next week. All right. I we're just gonna do it like this and see what happens. Maybe I'll text more details, but I need top 5 CHH albums, like projects of all time, like things, ones that are S tier, perfect. You wouldn't change anything. All right. And if you need more than 5, so be it. But I just want us to like compare that and definitely try to rank them in order if you can. So top 5. All right. Um, and then let's also do like a current, like as of right now today, top 5 artists. All right. So those will
Word.
be like 2 debate topics we have for next time. Any questions about that?
No.
Okay,
Nope.
cool. I want to do like a whole tier thing with like S tier, A tier, B tier, but that's just too much. And I think if we just do like 5 top projects of all time, that'll be great. Um, and yeah, my homework is to listen to the John Keith "Summertime in the Village" album, so I'll do that. But Josh, yeah, if you need to go ahead. Unless you have any parting shots, I definitely want to finish the Reconstruction stuff with Jacob, but which should
Sure.
only be like 5 more minutes. But all right, well, whenever you're ready to go, let me know, and I want to just give this
Yeah.
unique perspective at what I would almost believe to be the pivot point of Reconstruction. So, are you?
Yeah.
Was that a like thumbs up? You're good.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
good. We're
And
good.
do you
We're
have a
good.
time constraint?
No, not a harsh one. No, we'll be
Okay.
fine. We'll be
I'm
fine.
not gonna go crazy. So I'll have to walk us there, sort of, but I think the crazy pivot starts with holidays, all right, which is like his commitment to be not only like sober, like physically with alcohol, but I just think that's like the start of a crazy pivot point where like his he's like wrestling with his demons and there's a sort of breakthrough. Would you agree with that, or what does it happen earlier? Because all the earlier songs are just like him telling a story, like testimony or random reflections. But this is like 11 is where we kind of maybe H2O. I might have to listen to that one a little bit more detail. That one he's kind of rapping, which I love. But I don't know what do you think about that initially?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like I do really see kind of 3 movements or 3 acts in the album, probably like
Okay, go
sequentially.
ahead and share them.
Yeah, and I think that's probably an intentional part of the track listing process for him. Like, the first several tracks are all kind of typical A side front of the album tracks, I think, up through Bless
Yeah.
You. Life is a kind of a switch, I think, kind of a pivot. And then from
Yes.
Life into to Die for the Party, crazy transition. And then transition
Totally.
from Die for the Party to Headphones is insane. And then There for You is like this crazy song. H2O kind of like interrupts in there, it almost seems, but that's okay. It's kind
Yeah.
of like it almost is like a what is it, I-45 freestyle from
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Church Club.
Okay.
Like it's like I see what he's kind of. I understand the intentionality, but yeah, Holidays is then like really it's this. There's a sound there that I think is then kind of echoes through onto Pray for Me and Better Sober and Across the Ocean and Erase Me, all of those songs, and you first
I
kind of hear
agree.
that it's like a little bit of a poppier feel in a good way on Holidays, I think. Yeah, for the first time on the album, whereas the front end is a little bit more strictly hip hop, where the second half is another thing that Lecrae I think does well. He's got a lot of these chorusy hooks with singers, except for maybe Politic, and I mean that song's a little bit, um,
Yeah.
and Too Much maybe too, but um,
Yes.
yeah, like the back end is certainly a lot more of that, and I think there is a switch that kind of happens there between, somewhere there in the middle around tracks 9 through 11.
Okay. All right. So I'm glad we're yeah, totally like top level overview. I think we're definitely in agreement with that.
Yeah,
So let me propose to you my theory here. So Pray for Me. We'll start with that. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we just didn't talk to each other, but we were definitely into like the music at this time. There was this one guy, like there's just all these YouTubers coming around. I forget the name of this guy's channel. Um, but there's this whole movement and hashtags called Pray for Lecrae. Have you ever heard of that?
I don't think so.
So when he was like, yeah, it was literally like 2015, 2016, like when he was doing more secular things, people were like, oh, the rehab logo is 3 6s. Like, it's just
Oh,
all this
yeah.
crazy
Oh
stuff.
my gosh, dude.
Okay. All these, I like, at being younger too, I just was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Now I feel like I'm like, okay, that was a little silly. Kind of had like Andy Mineo's one trailer thing, which he's
I
like,
know
"Did
what you're
you
talking
know
about.
each
Yeah.
record?" Yeah, like I don't know. I was glad I like kind of was able to get in the weeds and think it all through. But like, oh shoot, is my camera still there?
It's frozen. It's back now. Yeah, it
Okay.
should be fine. Just double check.
Um.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, there we go. Just getting a call. So I'll just say, there's just pray for Lecrae, and I feel like Lecrae was probably just really all annoyed about all this stuff. You know, like, oh, like, and just more like he's the type of guy to like respond in comments a little bit more, like try to come up on top of the arguments, you know. And I wasn't like I never fought him for that, but I just think that's like where he was, and I feel like he saw those spaces as the place where he needed to win. So when I see pray for me, I can't help but think of the pray for Lecrae like hashtag, and he's not like trying to win the argument. He's like, again, just on the title alone, I could look in the song more detail. He's just saying, like, just pray for me. Like, I need the prayer. Like, he's not even like trying to win an argument. He's just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, or he's admitting like all this stuff. So that's pray for me. What do you? I'll just stop right there. Any thoughts or comments on that?
I mean, I think I see what you see a little bit. Yeah. I wasn't aware of any of the like phrasing being used back when Lecrae was catching a lot of heat for some stupid stuff, and he certainly did.
Okay.
And I think that's a
Yes.
big part of this album, though, thematically, and was part of Church Clothes, the whole thing. Which this almost does feel like a Church Clothes 5 kind of sequel to Church Clothes 4 in some thematic ways.
Okay.
Um, like I definitely think that's a big part of it is his reflection on kind of being the golden boy of this movement and this industry for a while, and then being completely rejected from it because of certain stupid reasons, really. And him having to kind of
Yeah.
scrape his way back into his identity. It almost seems, at least musically and in the industry. Um, yeah, this is like I think although he's reflected on it in some ways already and leading up to now, I think the whole point of this
Yes.
album is this is his reflection on just everything that happened throughout those years.
Yeah.
It's yeah, and you kind of you get to hear along the way like on All Things Work Together, like that's him in process, but this is like the retrospective reflection on just his whole career.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely there. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. And with that kind of like meta comment that you just gave, and I know we had both like made our own playlist of the Reconstruction era because this is before even when Church Close 4 was out. We didn't really know this album was coming, and I think we both sort of agreed that like this era for Craig was so profound, like everything you just described. But we both thought it was missing a little something, and maybe it was just he needed more time to have more hindsight 2020 vision. And because I almost feel like Reconstruction could have not come out, and he drops this, and like maybe that's what he was going for in Reconstruction. He just didn't have the full time to process it or stuff. What do you think about that?
What do you mean dropped this?
So
Like which
I don't
this?
remember. I don't know if you remember, like just our talking
Oh,
about
just
Reconstruction and
like
Church Plus Four. Something just didn't feel complete about it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
No,
I
I get what
just
you
feel
mean now.
like
Yeah.
he almost took another shot at it with this album, and it totally worked. But looking back, in my mind, you can almost just take out like the Reconstruction because I think he was just still in a very processing state. Like I like the Reconstruction album, a lot of people do, but narratively, this one just I felt like was taking a same stab at what he was trying to do and does it. You know?
Yeah, like, and I think, and we mentioned this already, like the deconstruction outro on Church Close 4 really set this up to the point where although within the deconstruction song itself, he is making his own little spin on what Christians in this decade have learned deconstruction to mean and all that that's meant for
Yeah,
like
yeah,
pastors deconstructing and other artists. And so like he puts his little stake in the ground with reconstruction kind of being a necessary thing that he says that in the song. And now I feel like this album is him really it's like a whole album of those last two tracks from Church Clothes 4, which is exactly what I want and wanted.
totally.
Yeah, I mean I would say that there's like a I mean the end of Church Clothes 4 with those two tracks, Journey and
Oh my
Deconstruction, is
goodness.
maybe the best
Yes,
moment in his discography. Like I don't think this is anything on here is better, but this album as a whole, especially being his 10th album, like that's just a fun number to consider.
totally.
Like it really is. it's a big deal, for those reasons. I hope I'm getting at what you had asked originally, but you
No,
know.
I couldn't agree more. And I just realized I might have said reconstruction instead of restoration
Oh,
at some
yes.
point.
Okay.
I'm like, so he was going for stuff in restoration because again, like, what's the difference between
Yeah.
restoring something and reconstruction? Like, I don't know. What is the difference? So I almost feel like he just like this is almost restoration 2.0 in a sense. Um,
Yeah.
and like, because once Church Clothes 4 came out and you had those last two songs of the album, like it really added so much more to restoration, even though anyway, it would get a little convoluted there, but I might have swapped those album names.
No, but I get your point,
There.
and I definitely would agree. Like, I think Restoration walked so that Reconstruction could run in a lot of ways. Like, I don't think it's
That's
a
good.
bad album, Restoration, but I
No,
think the
no.
concept there was a similar attempt, but it was
Yes.
soon. It was maybe soon for that. But
Yes.
now it's like Lecrae is articulating everything so much clearer than ever before, really. Yeah, so like they do feel like sister albums in some ways, with Church Clothes
Totally.
4 in between. Yeah, but I would say almost like, yeah, again, Reconstruction feels like, at least in relation to Church Clothes 4, it feels like a sequel. It feels like a Church Clothes 5 to me. But really, that's
Yeah.
the when he first started Church Clothes, like that was the type of subject matter he wanted to tackle, and that's really become all that he's talking about on this album. So like, it really is just as much Church Clothes Lecrae as ever before, whereas Restoration wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think we just merged into like the same exact lane because everything you're saying is
Yeah.
what I was absolutely trying to say. So, all right, awesome. Um, one last thing before we
Yeah.
go back into the little like narrative movement is he dropped Dry Clothes Edition only a little bit later, like February of the following year. And the song, like I think we did top three songs of 2023 or 2024. I don't know, whatever it was. Legacy for me was one of
Yeah.
those. If
Oh
if
yeah.
those songs of the original album were a prediction of Reconstruction, I think Legacy is tapping into something that's even a next step. And maybe it isn't even doesn't mean another album or project for Lecrae necessarily. And in some ways I've already seen it. Just him pouring into the next generation. It's truly special. Like all the collabs he's doing with these up and coming artists, like it's really awesome. So anyway, that's just a prediction I will offer you.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Mad at Today. So is it a simple song? Yes. The hook, love or hate it, great. It's just, one phrase over and over again. But what amazes me, and this is the same thing for Life, the same thing maybe you could say for H2O. No, I'll just talk about Life. Like it is such a short song, and maybe that's a bad thing, but the way he's so efficiently able to communicate an idea, I actually think that's really impressive. So with Life, maybe it could have been a longer song, but he perfectly encapsulates the idea of like life, of new life in Christ. Like that's the essence of the song, and
Right.
I think it's actually really cool. It's interesting. So for Mad at Today, I think he's onto something similar. This first verse, he's talking about his haters essentially. You woke up late, put some malice in your coffee. Shout out maybe to No Malice. Actually, probably not. Um, and you
Definitely
know,
not.
he's talking. No, definitely not. He's talking about all the complaints that they would have from their perspective. All right.
Yeah.
And it kind of just ran. It like almost feels like it interrupts the first verse to me. Goes into chorus again, and then in verse two, I'm like, okay, he's about to just diss him even harder and like win this argument once and for all. But then he's like, he just shows compassion. He shows empathy. He's talking about 1900s, like Twitter.
Hmm.
He does this number thing a little bit, and then it brings to present day. And instead of again like going down, like I just view him as like instead of him going in the comment section and just trying to respond, he's just showing love and like he says, "You got blessings. You're a child of God." Like all these things. I don't know. Maybe come back to it and just let me know what your thoughts would be. But he eventually is just talking about like he's just like ministering, and I don't know. That was like
Yeah.
totally unexpected to me, and for that's one reason on the first like I caught it the first listen to on this album, and it just I loved it, and I think it was a total pivot for him because I don't know, it was special. And then from that point on, we have the propaganda song, but then it's Better Sober, which is kind of similar to Holidays in my mind.
Yeah.
Cross the Ocean, Erase Me, Still Here, and I don't know, like narratively, those are all just still like further reflections. And I just think like the biggest pivot before we get like this finale is the song "Mad Today," where he like engages in the argument a little bit. It's kind of like it's like a diss track, but then it's like, and you guys like that interlude part. It just is a total
Right.
narrative change. And I'm like, wow, this is like the most Christ-like thing. Like this is actually die for the party.
Yeah.
Instead, he says, no, I'm not gonna sit here and watch the party die. Like Jesus, like I was a party victim, or a party, he
Yeah.
bought
Yeah.
party favors. Now I'm gonna like let Christ shine through. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so those songs like hand in hand, like one, yeah, Die for the Party is song 7. This is song 14.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And anyway, I think that's really all the narrative I want to offer, and that's just why that song is special. So what do you think? Does that change anything for you?
Yeah, I mean, I had not considered too greatly kind of its position in the album, but I
Okay.
will say like I do like I guess the point of the song, but I just feel like it would be better communicated with one change, which I think would make the song a lot better for me, is if they didn't return to the hook at the very end. And even if it was a
Okay.
shorter song, consequently, like that's like the one thing that like to me, I just I don't get it and I don't like it. It's not even that I don't like the hook. It's just I hate how weird that transition is back to like after I hear that second verse,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
Okay.
that hook again almost. I don't know. And that could just be me. That's how I'm feeling about it, but I certainly that song is not the worst thing in the world. Like Brick for Brick is the
Yeah.
worst thing in the world.
Yeah. 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 Well,
Yeah.
maybe they even face the same similar problem. Like Brick for Brick just didn't go anywhere. And in the same way, like this chorus, like narratively, if he really is a totally new perspective, like it could have an element of where it was, but then musically alter it, make it more
Yeah.
contemplative or graceful. And yeah, that maybe could have happened. And that's totally a way that they both I can see them both suffering. So
Yeah.
wow, cool. Well, thanks for waiting for all that time. I think, I'll leave it off at that. That's all the official talk. Obviously, Josh left too, so that kind of is part of it. But any other things you want to go over before we close it out?
Well, I mean, I feel like I have a lot to say about the way this album ends, which we haven't really talked about yet.
Well,
Um,
please let me just hand it off to
yeah.
you then, because I kind of
You're good.
stopped where you can pick up. All right, do
Well,
it.
so the one thing that I was really hoping for before I saw the track list when like the pre-save came out and stuff, did I go out of focus? I don't know. I was
You're good.
really hoping that um, somehow Die for the Party, if it were to be on the album, which I wasn't even optimistic it would be, but I'd love the idea of that song as an outro. I just think that would have gone crazy, and I still think that. I will say I'm just happy it's on the album, to be honest with you, and the transition where it's at on the album is cool as well. Um,
Mhm.
and the ending we did get was a little surprising to me. Still Here is a song I've been listening to for a long time now. I love that song.
Right,
Thinking of that as
right.
an outro is a little less conventional for me, and I think for him in his discography, like that sort
Hmm.
of outro is new. But I really kind of like it thematically how he ends with that song. But also, again, like it's not just that song on its own. Like he ends the album with "Erase Me" into "Still Here." "Erase Me" is after listening through this album for a couple weeks now, "Erase Me" is the one I'm listening to the most. I love
Yeah,
"Bless You," like that's a banger, but "Erase Me," like I'm listening to that one like nighttime car rides, night drives, and I mean where that's hitting me personally in my life in this season is maybe a little bit, it's particular for me, but that's a song that I just really appreciate. But also like there's this other element too, the fact that it's the how do you say her name, Holly N feature.
I just
Um,
say Holland.
I don't know even how to, but I mean that's an old name in kind of the Christian rap and pop
True.
space for like 10 years. Like I grown up with that. So like the when I saw her name, like it kind of surprised me.
Hmm.
Um, and then even the subject matter of that song, I think it's kind of a profound and like intentionally ironic. Uh, that she's the one singing that beautiful chorus. It almost makes it a little bit more special to me, because again, like this whole album and especially that song is this reflection on Lecrae's entire ministry for the
Wow.
last 20 years. And she's been kind of in the same. She's been part of that,
Yes, no
as a
doubt.
well known, um, yeah, as one of those singers. So, yeah, yeah, I think the album ended like the plane landed really well too, and that's
Yes.
something that's always big for me in albums is like, concept album like this, and like Chance did this well on Starline as another example.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many examples. Another recent example. You gotta introduce it well. I think uh, Lecrae creates certainly enough disequilibrium, and he's really provocative on that intro, right? And that's really great. It makes you want to listen, but also like he in the outros, I use plural because really it's
Mhm.
not just the one song. But I think the way he wraps it up and finishes it up too is it leaves me satisfied listening through the album. And I'm a guy who likes to listen through albums start to finish and no shuffle. You know what I'm saying? And so I think, yeah, that I'm splitting hairs. Like brick for brick, I'm content to pretend that song's not there. It's a long enough album as it is, not in a
Yeah.
bad way.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like something's missing if I just skip that song. Like skipping isn't the worst thing in the world. Like would it be better
Hmm.
if I just never heard that song ever? I wouldn't really say that. I can kind of choose what to do with it because he put it out. Like that's fine. I don't like it when people are too hard on albums because they would
Yes.
rather just cut some stuff like a song. Like you can just pretend it's not there and it's fine. Um, and mad at today, like whatever. Ultimately, I think this album accomplishes exactly what it's trying to. I
Yes.
think it's very timely. For me personally, like that kind of side of it, like
Totally.
I just love where I'm at in life. Hearing this album, I'm listening to it a lot. Um, I think it's a great album, and again, like you mentioned earlier, Lecrae's been good at putting people on. Another Tory feature is always welcome for me, of course, though I'm a little biased, a little
Yes.
partial. But yeah, some great features. Like it is a great album, and
Mhm.
it's yeah. As far as the decade goes, the 2020s, this is probably a top three Christian hip hop album. I think it's early,
Okay.
but I'll say that. So
Do you still rank it at number one just of his discography? Because that's what, like
I
the
did
night
say
it
that,
dropped.
didn't I?
You always overhype. We always overhype stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's still early, but at this point, I would say, prior to this album coming out, I kind of uh my top three Lecrae albums were Church Clothes 3, Gravity, and probably All Things Work Together. But I did this same thing too. When Church Clothes 4 came out, I thought it was a lot
Yeah.
better than it kind of ended up being. I don't see that happening with this album as much though, I will say. But then again, it's still recency bias, but I'd say right now, like this feels like it has felt like Lecrae has only gotten better over time,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is amazing at his age and at nearly year 20. That's the most impressive thing about all of it, really.
No.
So
No doubt. No
yeah,
doubt. Wow.
yeah, man,
I'm really glad you added all that because yeah, you really can't talk if there is a narrative to this album. You really can't talk about it without Erase Me, and you're absolutely right. Like I'm sure there's a lot of it's cool to hear like the personal timing with
yeah,
of your life. Maybe I totally agree because what's been my little theme verse as of late is John 15:13, I believe, where it's John the Baptist talking about like I must decrease so he must increase, and that's literally like the namesake of the song, Erase Me. Like that's so powerful, and you contrast to where Lecrae was at right at Anomaly. It's like maybe he would say that, but functionally, it's like, no, I need my religion to reach like rebel. Like
yeah,
again, it's not like I can fault him because the intentions are good, but at the end of the day, it's like, are you trying to shove a religion down people's throats, or are you just letting Christ shine through in every part of your life? And it's crazy because it's like, yeah, it's like over time when Christ shines through more and more, it's like you actually do less. Like you I don't know. It's a mystery, and I'm still processing it myself. And I'm really glad that song resonated as much as it
yeah,
did for you, for me, because like it really is special. And yeah, the whole Holland thing. I don't know too much about her history, but I had a similar feeling of just seeing her name there. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and just it really just. I like how you just all tied it up in a bow. It really was everything it needed and aimed at. It got, and yeah, what a special album.
yeah, for sure. I think for me, and you probably relate to this, like being a Christian hip hop fan since Gravity, oh,
Yeah,
since Rehab, actually for me, like Lecrae's journey throughout all this has been my journey and our journey,
yeah,
and this is
actually,
like
yes.
You know, like that's how it feels. I think for a lot of us in this position, you know, these kids who grew up on the Christian hip hop music because that's just what we were on, but it's matured as we have, and like
Wow.
I'm just optimistic about what the future holds in many ways, and the fact that Lecrae's, I think the biggest accomplishment of his career is that he didn't make careers of other people, but he was the first to put on Holvey,
Yes.
John Keith in some ways, right? Andy and
No, totally. Yeah.
KB and so many big names who are now going to be doing this long after he is. You know,
Wow.
yeah, man, we're in a good spot. Yeah,
For sure. Cool. Well, let's
yeah,
leave it
dude.
at that.
All
And
right,
yeah, lots of exciting things to look forward for next time. So thanks for setting up the Discord and everything. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.
yeah, man. See you, Luke.